Well, all the spoilers for Dominaria United are in, and there's 41 legends in like the regular set, and then there's a bunch for Commander, and then there's a whole bunch of box toppers. Now, the problem is that means if you want to make a video about what you're going to play and what you're not, it's either a very long video or very short details. So for the purposes of this one, this video is about which ones I'm probably not going to play as a Commander, and it's going to be very much a speed round, and you'll see why. These 4 cards all have Domain. Now, Domain is a legit deck archetype. The problem is when you're playing a Commander that locks you into 2 colors. Now, granted, there's ways around an awful lot of that. Now, there's no shortage of ways to change lands into other land types in this game. And you're playing green, so Prismatic Omen is right there. The issue is that you either locked yourself into all the Domain cards in 2 colors, which is a bunch, but really not that many, or the obvious solution, which is to play a 5-color Commander and then play all of them. Now, it's kind of weird. Domain is, I don't want to call it a cultured mechanic, but it's been around for a while in some way, shape, or form. And we still don't have a 5-color Commander that properly takes advantage of it. Maybe we'll get one in a couple of sets. Who knows? It would be kind of nice. But until then, you kind of have to pick the best 5-color, or maybe 4 or 3. That's getting a little rough, though. And if you wanted to play Domain, you'd want to make full advantage of having all 5 land types, wouldn't you? These 3 all care about instants and sorceries. The issue is that Wrath is an inferior way to draw cards. Just going to throw that out there right now. Vohar is very slow life gain and kind of has a recurring snappy effect, but not really interesting enough. And then there's Ivy on the other end. I don't know how to tell you this. Okay, so you can copy spells that target other creatures. To make a copy target Ivy, the issue is at my play area, most spells that target individual creatures are removal. And I don't think my Commander needs any further help being exiled. Now, these 2 I found really unfortunate. I really like Goblins. Goblins is one of the first tribes I ever played in Casual. These guys, Squee is a 2/2 haste that gets you token when he attacks. The problem is he's a 2/2. Now, with an awful lot of extra buildup, he's going to be rapidly outclassed by pretty much everything else that hits the table past turn 4. And then he has Escape, well, not actually having Escape, but it's Escape. But there's so much better Goblin Commanders out there. And then Ruik, okay, he's a 3/3 menace, that's nice, but what do you get out of it? You might get a land and play tapped, or you might get a Goblin. But again, I can pay 2 more for Wart the Raid Mother and fork all of my spells. I get that he's not uncommon, so that's kind of why, but sorry, Ruik, you might be one of the 99, but you're not going to be a Commander. Now, these 3 guys all make tokens. My problem is the way in which they make them. Baird gets you 1 at the end of your turn. Okay, you can go in the 99 as extra buildup. King Darien, you pay 5 to get 1, and he gets slightly bigger. Okay, I think I can find better than that. Rith is a nice fat flying 5/5 and helps protect your other dragons, but at the most you're going to get is another 4/4. I already run a much more interesting dragon deck that cranks out tokens. You might go in the 99. You're not going to lead my dragon deck, I'm sorry. And now for 3 that are just, I hate to use the word, but are just cliche, considering what their color combinations normally do. Okay, I find Tatyova kind of funny, in that you suddenly get, if you have 7 or more lands, you can make one become a 3/3 elemental with haste. Oh, and it's flying. Like, okay, yeah, I've got enough land in play. I'm gonna fling islands at you. That's amusing, but not as the centerpiece of a deck. Astor is quite literally the embodiment of a boring Boros commander. Oh, look, more vehicles and equipment. That's great. I'm awesome. It's so happy that you've walked yourself into that archetype so hard. And then Danitha, you get one Order of Equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto it. They're just better out there. Okay, she's a 4/4 first strike vigilance lifelink, but unless what you're throwing it on there is whatever that enchantment is that makes it into an angel, or something that's give it death touch, trample, and haste. Now, compared to his old version, I find this Urtai a little disappointing. Original Urtai, the second Urtai, both let you counter spells. That's kind of worth keeping on the table. This is, he shows up once, does his thing, and then you're now spending cards to flicker him to get the ability. When you could just play the counter spells, I guess, maybe. Sten is, okay, you pick something, you pick a type and it costs one less. And then you can exile him to make something else cost one less, or maybe just play a Cloud Key. And then Lord Windgrace has returned with a whole bunch of discard abilities, which is still desperately trying to push me into making that Jund discard deck. And Solkanar is back with an elemental creature type, and then a whole bunch of things I really, really don't like compared to his original version, and kind of the same thing with Lord Windgrace. I don't really see what adding the elemental creature type adds to Solkanar, when, to be honest, I have an original Solkanar, and he's kind of neat to run every now and then. The Windgrace Planeswalker commander, I think, is a slightly superior choice over Soul of Windgrace. That said, if I ever do build this dumb Windgrace Jund discard deck, Soul will definitely be in there waiting to get used. So that goes through about a little under half of the total number of legends that are in the main set for the release, not counting the commanders, not counting the box toppers. The other half, I see a much greater potential in. And if you pop around next time, I'll let you know why. And if you do, I'll see you in the future.